Well, I'm back. Thanks for sticking around here. I know that there's plenty of stuff always going on a Friday night, let alone on a Friday night that is the second day of the NFL draft. So appreciate those of you who are still around. Of course, you might be able to put this on your phone. Here, give me a second to shift around here. You may be able to watch that on your phone while you're watching this, or watch this on your phone while you're watching that, or not watch it and just read about it tomorrow, or all of the above. So this is the Tabletop Baseball channel. I am Tenacious Earl, and I'm going to bring you another installment of the Tenacious Earl's 2008 Phillies Super Advanced Replay. This is a night game from April 20th, 2008. This is the final game of the Mets at Phillies. This is the second series that the Mets have gone up against the Fightins. The Fightins are in danger of getting swept for a second time by the Metropolitans. And Mike Pelfrey will get the nod for the Mets. The Mets are 11-5. I don't have his stats right in front of me at the moment. Kind of gotten in upheaval here because I've been playing some History Maker baseball and things are just kind of a little bit war-torn, so to speak. The Phillies are at 500 right now, 9-9. They were actually 8-10 going into this game in real life. So still got plenty of time for these Fightins to put it together. They'll have Adam Eaton out there going for them. I seem to remember Adam Eaton being somewhat worse than what he has been so far in the season for the Phillies. So let's get rolling here so I can finish this up and we can all go to bed at a decent hour or party or whatever you plan to do. Hi, John Van Derziel. Hi, Larry Harris. You're back. Oh. Wow, that's, yeah. Larry, that's pretty awesome. You've got 3 different things juggling there. John, I am doing pretty well. The Rams and Bills just traded draft picks. I was wondering how the Bills, what they were up to. They seem to be in the mode of trying to stockpile some more picks. So, anyway, let's get on with this game. Let's get on with it. And so we've got to decide on the weather effects for Philadelphia on a potentially cold April evening here in Philly. Let's roll the old... I got out the orange one. The Phillies need some help right now. They've been stonewalled, and I seem to remember the orange being a good one for them, so we'll see. That is a 10, which should put it right in the average range, and it does. But that's a day game. Night game, still right in the average range, so it's going to be a 10 for lefties, a 7 for righties on the singles, and it's going to be 13 across the board for the home run checks. So, you can see the Mets lineup right there in front of you. Reyes, Castillo, Wright, Beltran, Delgado, Church, Casanova, Chavez, and Pelfrey. A couple changes for the Mets here against Eaton. So this is a righty that they have seen a diet of lefties so far in as starting pitchers in this series. Pelfrey. Got to put down the pitcher here, and then Eaton. Reminds me of the church lady, if anybody remembers that. Eaton was not as good as I thought he would be. Yeah, well, he's got a chance here. The Phillies win this game in real life, 5-4. So I believe they come from behind. The Mets actually come from behind, and the Phillies pull one on them and get a run to do it. So Jason, oh wait, no, not Jason. What am I doing? So Jose Reyes against Adam Eaton. Both righties on the mound here. Here we go. Game 3, Mets-Phillies, 3-11. And that's a ground ball to Howard. Howard runs to the bag, if running is what he's actually doing. And that is the first out. Gets there. Luis Castillo. 1-9. 1-9, and that's a ground ball to Bruntlett. Bruntlett throws across to Howard for the second out. 2 quick ground ball outs for Adam Eaton. Here's David Wright. And there's a 1-8, and that is a 2-out walk. Eaton -2, and Coast. Oh, you know what? I knew I forgot to do something. Let's do it right now. Quickly. Let's see, what do we got? Well, we still have, let's see, Chavez and left. Yeah, so we got Chavez's numbers there from last night, or from a couple nights ago. Reyes, Castillo, Delgado. I think we got the lineup except for Casanova. Real quick, Casanova. 4 + 1. E1. Giving Schneider the day off here. 1-20 on the throwing error potential, and then PB2. He likes double the peanut butter on his sandwiches. So for the Phillies, in the field, they've got Burrell, Worth in center, and then Jenkins in right. And I'll have to look that up. 3 - 1E11. Utley, Howard. You got Bruntlett back there, short. 3E21. And you got Greg Dobbs at third this game against the righty, trying to get a little bit of extra. And he's giving Phillies a day off. So Dobbs, 4E, can't remember what his E number is, but so he's at E13. And then obviously the pitchers. I'm not too worried about the pitchers because we get the pitcher's card right in front of us here. So, all right. So Eaton's a -2 and Coast is a +2. So it's a 0 for the Mets on the base paths. That's why I was caught up a bit there, trying to figure it out. So, right, he's going to try to get a lead. Needs to roll a 7 on the D6s, and he gets a 10, so that will not work. So Carlos Beltran with 2 outs and runner at first, courtesy of a walk issued by Adam Eaton. 5-6, he's batting from the left, 5-6, and that's a strikeout. First strikeout for Eaton, and no runs for the Mets. Helps to do your homework ahead of time. Let's go Phils is what I'm hearing. This home crowd, that's good. They need all the help they can get. They have struggled against the Mets so far. All right, so for the Phillies, Worth, Dobbs will bat second. Utley, Howard, Burrell, Jenkins, Coast, and Bruntlett, and then Eaton will round it out. Worth leading off against Mike Pelfrey. 5-7 against a righty. Fly ball to center field. And that is Carlos Beltran with the catch. 1 down. Greg Dobbs. 3-6. 3-6, and that is a single. He mashes one over the head of the infield. And Dobbs, so let's see, Pelfrey -2 hold, and Casanova was a +1, right? So -1. They're going to hold Dobbs on. He's going to try to get a lead here with 1 out. That's a 2, so no lead. So he's not going to try stealing. Utley at the plate. Actually, they're gonna try. No, they're gonna let Utley swing away. Runner at first, being held on, as we said, 4-5 lefty, and that's a fly ball to left field. And Chavez getting a start out there today makes the catch, 2 down. And so Ryan Howard with 2 outs. That's a 4-7 against a lefty. 1-14 single. 70% chance at a single, and it is a 19. That will be an out. That will be a grounder to short. Could actually go the short way, but we'll have him throw it over. And so the Phillies are retired in the first. Let's move on to the second. Still no score. Big Cat, Carlos Delgado. 2-5, and it's a ground ball to short. It spun off. I thought there was going to be a home run chance there. It spun off the 1 to the 2. So it's a 2-5, and that's a ground ball to short. And Bruntlett converts that. His second chance of the game. Ryan Church. 4-8. And that's a single for Church. First hit of the game for the Mets. They will hold Church on, but he's not going to. Casanova is going. They're going to hit and run with Church. Yeah, they'll do a hit and run here. B hit and run chance. And it's a 4-9, so it comes off the pitcher's cards and it's a 4. Batting from the left, 4-9, fly ball to left field. And let me get my charts here. Just double check and make sure it's a fly out. So retreating is Church, 2 outs. With 2 outs, Church will try to get a lead here. It's a 0, so, and they aren't holding him on, so if he gets a lead, he gets a 13 chance. It's an 8, so no lead. But Endy Chavez, they could pitch around him here, but instead they're going to let him swing. 3-3, fly ball to right. And Jenkins gets under that, and the top of the second is over. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. Pelfrey. Yep. Hello again, Ken. Pat the bat. Knows a lot about that. 6-4 against a righty. Ground ball to shortstop. That'll be Jose Reyes. Jose Reyes is a 2E18. 2 and a 7 is going to be a G2. And then 7 with the E18 at short. And he retires Burrell. Makes it look like clockwork. Jeff Jenkins, 5-3 against a lefty. Ground ball to first base. This is Delgado. Delgado is a 4E9 and a 5. 4 and a 5, that is going to be a single. And then a 10 on the E9 is no error, but that will be a single for Jenkins. They won't hold him on. Chris Coast. Two six, and that's going to be a double play ball, tailor-made, as Reyes to Castillo to Delgado. So still zeros after 2. Adam Eaton back out to throw. Phillies really need this to get. They need to get a game under their belt against the Mets. It's been a rough one. Been a rough matchup for them so far. So Pelfrey first at bat. 1-7, and he strikes out for 1 out. Reyes 0 for 1. There's a 2-4. That's a ground ball to short. He's out for the second time. Bruntlett makes the play. Castillo 2 down. 1-6, and that's another single. Second hit of the game. Castillo, yeah, he's gonna definitely try to get a lead here. They're gonna have to hold him on. Gets a 6. Needed a 4 or a 5 for a good lead. Now he could still steal. He's being held on. So, but that would be a 1 to 8 chance. With David Wright at the plate, going to just go ahead and let him swing away. Got a chance at some big lumber. That's a 3-9. Ground ball to third, and Dobbs throws to first and retires the side. Through 2.5, no score. Pelfrey back out. Eric Bruntlett to square up against him. Well, not really square up. Not going to bunt, as far as I know. Bruntlett 2-5, and he strikes out. First one for Pelfrey. Brings up Adam Eaton. He can swing the bat a little bit. 6-11. He's batting from the right side. 6-11, fly ball to right field. A little troublesome chance here for Ryan Church. 2-3. But that's a 16, so that will be, he's able to get to it. And then a 9, I would venture to say, is going to be the complete the out there. 9 on an E3. Oh, yeah. Eaton retired. It's going to bring up the top of the order. Jason Worth 0 for 1. He flew out to center field to lead off the game. 4-5 against a righty, and he strikes out. So I think the first game had some elements of this. It took them a while to get going. Mets kicked in 7 runs in that game to deny the Phillies some love. So, Beltran, 5-10. He is batting from the left side, a 5-10. Ground ball to shortstop. That is Eric Bruntlett. 3E21. 18, no problem. 12 on the 21. Let's see, that is the question. 12 on the E21 is not an error, so that will be a 6-3 ground out. Carlos Delgado 0 for 1. He hit 2 home runs last game. 4-10 against a lefty, catcher X. That is Chris Coast. He is a 4E5. Of course, the catcher X isn't going to be as... So a 4 and a 13. That's a pop out because nobody's on base. Now the 14 is the question. 14 on an E5. No error. 2 down. Pop out to the catcher. 2 away. And Ryan Church here in the 4th with 2 outs. 1-6. 1-6 and a 1. Needs a 1 for a single. Doesn't get it. That will be a ground out to Chase Utley. And so going to the bottom of the 4th. No score. Let's go Phils. Yeah, so let's see. We got... Wondering if Mr. Tabletop is out at a college baseball game. Greg Dobbs, he singled but was Didn't move an inch off of first. First time up 6-4, lefty, 6-4 ground ball to short. That's Reyes 2, E18. And a 3. I think it may still be okay, but let's see. 2 and a 3, yes, G3, so just barely on the edge of it there. 13 on an E18. No error, so wait, let me double check. E13. Wait, E18 and 13, yes. All right. One away, Chase Utley. 0 for 1. He hasn't really gotten into too many yet. 3-6. And there he gaps one, and that's going to be a double. Over the head of the center fielder. Beltran can't get to it, so Ryan Howard now with a runner at second. Utley's not going to try stealing with that 6 there. So a 5-5 against a lefty fly ball to right field B. And let me see. I'm trying to remember. He could advance on that. The fly ball to right field B. I think it might be the same. Oh, well, I should look up here at my cheat sheet. Where is? Oh, well, it needs to be a question mark, and that's not a question mark. Never mind. There's no question mark on that, so he cannot advance. So 2 down, up to Pat Burrell to drive in Utley. Yep, Phillies are playing in Los Angeles tonight. .68 against a righty and a single to center. You have to expect that with a 2-step lead, they're going to send Utley here. I haven't had too many plays at the plate, but let's see. The Mets are fixing to, because Beltran has a -2 arm. Utley 15 plus 2 to 17. He was being held on, makes it 16. Then -2 is 14. 1 to 14 chance. They're going to try to throw him out at the plate. 1 to 14. Burrell will advance to second on this. And he is able to get in there safe. And Burrell will advance on the throw. And so, 1-0 Phillies. With Burrell moving to second. They're trying to get that run. Of course, we could have done a cutoff play, I suppose. Jeff Jenkins. Of course, we wouldn't have done the throw then to home. Wouldn't let it go through. 1-0. Jeff Jenkins with Burrell at second. And with the 6 stayed on there. 6-8 against a lefty. Ooh, boy. And that could prove costly for the Mets, as the 6-8 again for Jenkins, 1 to 15 double. And that is a double. That's going to score Burrell 2 runs, an RBI for 2 runs in the inning as Jenkins gets an RBI. It's now 2-0. And Chris Coast with a runner at second. See if he can get a 2-star advance here. It's a 2 on the D20, so that result is ignored. With the 2 on the D20, we have to find out whether it's wild or whether it's balk or passed ball, and it is balk. Pelfrey does not balk, so going to re-roll for Coast. And that is a 2-6. Ground ball to short. And that is it for this inning. But they get 2 runs in the bottom of the 4th. It is 2-0 Phillies. See, Derek, you guys have the same problem that we have in Philly. If the game was being played in Philly, we wouldn't be able to watch it. Well, anybody who has DirecTV. So Casanova going to lead off 2-7. 2-7, that's a ground ball to first. It's going to be a play made by Howard on his own. Endy Chavez, 0-for-1. 5-6 against the lefty, struck out. And brings up the pitcher spot. That'll be Pelfrey. Pelfrey, that lone walk at 2-10. Get 2-7 instead. That's a strikeout. 2 strikeouts for Pelfrey. Go to the bottom of the fifth, 2-0 Phillies. Moving right along. This has been a pretty quick game. 2 hits for the Mets so far. The Phils have 4. Wait, 5. 5. No walks yet issued by Pelfrey. Eric Bruntlett will get his turn to lead off here, 4-5. Against the righties, a strikeout. We already saw that. 1 out. Pelfrey can go into the 6th. So here is Adam Eaton hitting. 6-3. Fly ball to left field, X. So we already had an X fly ball. Eaton hitting him out there into the outfield. Chavez 1-2, so not bloody likely that he's going to be able to escape from that. The 1 is a no-brainer. The 1 range doesn't matter on the D20. What really counts is the 12 on the D6 is an E2, and no error. So, whoops. 2 outs as Endy Chavez with the excellent fielding prowess out there in left field. Jason Worth, 1-11. Ground ball to short. 1-2-3 for Pelfrey. He puts that 4th inning in his rearview mirror. We'll go to the 6th. So Eaton just had his potential weakness inning. So we will probably give him 1 more inning, maybe 2 at most. Jose Reyes, 4-10. He's batting from the left side, 4-10. Catcher X. Phillies catch a break on that, as there's some good things in that 4 column. So the catcher being Coast, 19. That's a G2, and then a 10 on the E5. And that is going to be just fine. 2-3, first out. Luis Castillo. We're well past the halfway point, and we're haven't hit the half-hour mark, so we're doing good. Castillo 3-8. Pop out to first base. Tall one that Howard is able to get underneath. David Wright. And a 2-2. And boy, I'll tell you, this may be the Phillies' night here. Fly ball, deep fly ball to center, but it's going to stay in the park somehow. That is the deepest part of the park, and Worth is able to. He was playing him deep, expected him to try to knock it out, and so makes the play. Well, see, Derek, we used to have. Okay. Phillies used to show 2 games a week on UPN 57, and then they quit doing that. For whatever reason. I guess probably the money. Money talks. Comcast loves it because people stay with them. Or Verizon. Verizon also holds it. But we don't have Verizon Fios TV in our area. At least in this area. If we lived about a mile south, we would have it. Greg Dobbs. 1 for 2. 2-7. 2-7, a ground ball to shortstop. Reyes throws across to first. Delgado, did he pull himself off? No, he stayed on. That's the first out. Chase Utley, he doubled and scored to kick off that fourth inning. 5-10 against a lefty. Ballpark single. We haven't had many ballpark chances. That is a 1-10 for a lefty. That'll be a single. He is 2 for 3. Utley finds the magic roll there. And so with 1 out, he will try to get a lead here. Needs a 5 on the D6s. Gets a 6, so he would have to steal off of the poor lead, and so he's not going to do that. Ryan Howard, he's a strikeout, double play homer kind of guy. Let's see which one he gets here. 6-7 against a lefty. Ground ball to second base, X. That might be the double play variety. We'll have to see if Castillo can make this play and if Reyes can turn the 2 on it. 3E13. Now they are holding Utley on. So, but with the lefty, they would not be holding on with the second baseman. So 3E13 is still in effect here. And so a 16, 216 G1, or 316, still a G1. And then it's a matter of whether the 12 on the E13 is a problem. And it is not. So the G1, I believe, is the double play. And sure enough, it is. And Howard hits into the 4-6-3 inning smasher. So the Phillies will let Eaton pitch one more inning here, go into the 7th. He's set down 10 in a row here, so he's been pretty good, but he's got the heart of the order. Beltran, Delgado, and Church coming up here. 6-8. He's batting from the left side, and that's a leadoff walk. See if that comes back to bite him. Beltran will have to be held on. They're going to hit and run with Delgado, try to get something started here. B hit and run, and I lost that die. Where'd you go? All right, well, I'll just reshake that one. So we've got a 3, so it is going to come off of... So a 5. B5 from the hit and run chart. Single 2-star. First to third goes Beltran as he gets a head start, and he easily cruises into third base as they find the hole. And so now the Mets are in business. Ryan Church. Let's see, with Casanova, switch hitter. And then Chavez. They're going to stick with Eaton here. So they're going to play the infield back. They're going to look for 2 for Ryan Church. 110. Fly ball to right field. B. Beltran. 1-15. Add 2 because there's and then Jenkins himself he has a -1 arm, so 1-16 would be the play home. Well, they're going to make that throw. Let me see, where is my rule book here? Just want to double check here. So, in this case, you could... see, this is where it gets a little contrived if you want to do this. So, if you're playing head to head, you could have this tit for tat where he sends Beltran. Then you could pretend to throw home, and then you could cut it off if the other manager decides to send the trail runner. And I think what the Phillies are going to do is just take the sack 9, accept that the 80% chance of Beltran scoring is probably going to bring him home, and leave Delgado at first and not tempt fate there. So, Delgado at first, not a threat to run, or barely a threat. They're not gonna hold him on. So Casanova against Eaton. That is a 2-7. That's a ground ball to first. I said they're not holding him on, so there's nothing. But it doesn't matter anyway. You need to be infield in. That's a 3-6-1. We'll say as Eaton comes over to cover the plate, or cover cover first base on the double play. The Mets get a run. It's 2-1. Oh. Glanville was cut. I didn't see that. Do we really need 9 guys to tell us who won an ESPN? Well, I like Dougie. Not only because he's a Strat guy, but I mean he was a Philly, and I'm sure Cubs fans are still fans of him to an extent. So Pat Burrell. We'll start it off here. Pelfrey still going. He did give up a single, but still not tired. And in 1-6 a walk. Burrell gets on here in the bottom of the 7th. They won't be holding Burrell on as Jeff Jenkins, he doubled. He's 2 for 2, single and a double. That's a 2-4. And that'll be a double play ball right there. 4-6-3. Just like they ended the last inning. Chris Coast. 1-5. Strike him out. If you didn't see that. Strikeout. Ends the inning. So what started promising is not going to be so much. And the Phillies, they are going to... They're going to make a double... No, they're not going to double switch here. Let's see, what do they got? They got Chavez, Pelfrey, and Reyes. They're gonna go to J.C. Romero to start. They'll have Ryan Madsen up and warming. And so Romero... It's going to pitch the 8th here to start. So it brings up Chavez. So against a lefty, they have some options off the bench from the right. Not too many, though. Pagan, easily. Brady Clark. They're going to use Brady Clark to lead off here against Romero. So Brady Clark against Romero, the lefty. So batting from the right side. 2-8, and he strikes out for the first out. Pitcher spot. That'll be another pinch hitter here. So they will go with Damian Easley. And mind you, it's 2-1, so a pinch hit home run would be a big problem for the Phillies at the moment. So against the lefty, Damian Easley, 1-5, and he gets a single. 1-out single. Now, Easley does not steal much, so they won't have to hold him on. Reyes at the plate. They won't hold on, so they could still hit and run here in theory, but if a misses pitch, it's an automatic out. So Reyes, 3 on the D20 there. 3-7, if you can't see the 7 there, but there it is. 3-7, fly ball to center field. That'll be the second out, and Luis Castillo up now. Damian Easley at first, and Luis Castillo at the plate. Actually, they will... Well, he is hitting from the right. They could bring in... What could they do here? They could bring in Pagan. That's what they're going to do. They're going to pinch hit with Pagan here. So, boy, they put all their eggs in one basket here in this inning, but it's only the 8th. But still, they've already kind of gone on this path. So here we go, and I got to make a couple lines here. Angel Pagan, 2 outs. JC Romero, 5-8. He's a switch hitter. 5-8. Ground ball to second. Utley has not been automatic, that's for sure. In past games, he is a 2E14, but a 14 on the 2 is going to be a G1. Now, they didn't have to hold on easily, so still a G1. And then 13 on an E14. No error, so big sigh of relief from the Phillies dugout as Romero gets through that inning and will be able to make the connection to Lidge. So now you brought out your... All right, so let's see. So you used... What they're going to do is they're going to leave... So wait, so this was Pagan. They're gonna have Pagan be the one to bite it here and bite the take a seat back on the bench. So it's gonna be Brady Clark in left. And Damian Easley is going to come in at second base. So Brady Clark, you can see here, he is rated for left. He's a 4+1 E5. So not, I forgot to write who it was, but that's okay. This card's going to be done by once this series is over. All right. So the Mets have to go to their bullpen. Also, so here's something that I made a mistake last game. I guess I'll mention it. Muniz had actually been removed from the roster for last game. So what I did is I went back and looked, and the result that we had was okay for Heilman. So I used him as the pitcher when I entered it into Strat PC. Who they brought up was Duaner Sanchez. I forget how you say his name. So, and also the Phillies. Rollins has now been put on the DL. So Snelling was also sent back to, I believe it was Scranton back then. So Brad Harmon and TJ Bone are both available for pinch hit duties. So we just got to decide here. So Bruntlett, Eaton, Worth, righties, righty. They will bring in Joe Smith. And so he is going to bat in the second spot. And Bruntlett will lead off. So things have slowed down a bit here as we have to do some jockeying. Joe Smith against Bruntlett. 210. Ground ball to second base. Really haven't had any. We haven't had any big home run ballpark stuff. It's been pretty quiet from that aspect. So the Phillies are going to go to the bench for a pinch hitter against the righty. And all they have are righties off the bench. So they will use TJ Bone because I think in real life he pinch hit in this game. So they wouldn't know what his card would be like, but 5'11" against a righty. 5'11" fly ball to left field. That is Brady Clark. So already Clark has a potential tough play here. 4E5. 4 and 14. He's able to get to that one, and then it's a 7 on the E5. And he makes the play, so no harm, no foul there, and Bone is out. He was actually he actually recorded an out in his at bat in the game in real life. So Jason Worth 0 for 3. Seems like whenever these guys go into the lineup at the top of the order, they go 0 for 6. Righty, ground ball to short. And so a 1-run lead going into the 9th. Brad Lidge will be called upon to try and save this game again. Of course, he was perfect in real life. Phillies are going to make a couple of defensive changes too. They're going to bring out Burrell. So and they're also going to have Feliz come in to play third for Dobbs. Taguchi with a better range, but more of a chance for an error. Feliz, both better range and error, I believe. All right, so And Phillies would lead off the next inning if... We got to get Burrell out of here and bring in Taguchi. All right, so top of the ninth. Phillies clinging to a 2-1 lead. The Mets have lots of big dogs coming up here. This could get very, very interesting. Not to go over the top, but we just did, so it's too late now. Right, Beltran, Delgado. If any of those guys hits the big shot on their card, this is a whole new ball game. So here we go. David Wright against Brad Lidge. Wright 0 for 2. He did reach on a walk. 2-9. And Lidge strikes him out. 1 out. Look at that. So close. Mets have had a number of cases like that where it just was... Actually, that was right before. He had a 2-2. So he had 2 in the 2 column, and neither of them found the magic spot. Carlos Beltran. He is over 2 with a walk as well, and he scored a run after reaching on that walk. 4-9. He's a switch hitter, batting from the left. 4-9, a walk. Tying run on base. They're going to have to hold him on. And so, let's see, Lidge a +5 hold. And with Coast behind the plate, the most you can get is +5. I mean, Beltran has to try and get a lead. I don't know if he wants to get thrown out on the base pads, but... And he gets the lead, so it's a 1-19 chance. It would have to be a 20 to throw him out. He'll get to second, barring a 20. And he does. That's a stolen base. Tying run in scoring position. Big Cat Carlos Delgado. 1 for 3 against Brad Lidge. That's a 5-11 against a lefty. And that's a strikeout. Big strikeout. Brings up Ryan Church. Tying run at second. 2 outs. Can the Phillies register their first win against the Mets of this 2008 season? The pitch. 3-6. That's a 3 on the D20, so 3-6. And he draws a walk. And the Mets are going to go back to their bench. First and second, 2 outs. They're going to pinch hit with Brian Schneider. Brian Schneider has been a Phillies bane in his career. First and second, so the winning, or the go-ahead run is on first. Brian Schneider at the plate against Lidge. Lidge in 2008 did not blow a save. Will it happen here? 1-8. Oh! Runner in scoring position, 2 out. That is a clutch. That is the clutch marker. The 1-8. If it's a single with a clutch marker, it turns into an out. That will end the ball game. Let me see. I just have to remember what it turns into. It's a pop out. Pop out to second. Utley grabs it, thankfully. Game over. 2-1 Phillies win. The spread in real life was 2-1. And it couldn't have gotten any closer than that. Man. Brian Schneider with the fortunate for the Phillies. Does not come through in the clutch. And the Phillies fans are able to go home knowing that they did salvage at least one game against the Mets here in this series and to start the season. So what a fun game that was, man. It was exciting, nerve-wracking. We're going to put the Mets away for a while here. So, I don't know, Brian, it'd be funny if they put clutch for certain teams that a guy faces, because it seemed like Schneider was clutch against the Phillies on more than one occasion, especially when he played for the Marlins. But in this case, he is not clutch, and the Phillies win 2-1. Your winner of the game will be Adam Eaton, as he pitched 7 innings of 1-run ball. Romero will get a hold for the 8th, and then Lidge the save for a somewhat rocky 9th. I think you could definitely call it rocky. And with Philly, I guess with Philadelphia, rocky is an apt thing to talk about here. So, going to wrap this guy up. I got to wrap up the Mets cards as that is done. Been an exciting night for me. I'm getting ready to start this other league, which will does not mean that this league is going away. It just means that this league may go in spurts instead, or I may take more of the games offline. I haven't decided yet. I don't know if I want to do that, but it definitely will give me a chance to do some alternative games. Bring you guys some fresh names and faces. Hopefully that is something that you will look forward to, some different teams to root for or root against. Granted, there are only 32 teams, so eventually you're going to hit the same teams again and again. But I will say the Phillies over and over again. If you didn't like some of the players on the Phillies, then this series is not for you. So hopefully TBL 2.0 will be. So Phillies win. The hero for this game, Jeff Jenkins, with a 2-out RBI double to put them ahead for good. Gets the game-winning RBI and puts the Phillies to 10-9, which is a game ahead of their pace in 2008. So, if you give me a moment, I believe the next series is against the Rockies out at Coors, so that could be one to keep an eye on. Another hitter's park, by golly, and there could be some fireworks out there. So may get to play a game of that tomorrow. We'll see, but and may also instead get a chance to do TBL 2.0. We'll see what we do. But thanks for watching, everybody. Appreciate all of your support. Both Tabletop and myself appreciate your support of this channel. We do this for all of you. We do this for ourselves as well. I mean, this is something that we get a lot of enjoyment out of. We hope that there continue to be more and more people who watch these who are brand new to the game and will develop a love of this game, because and other tabletop games, not just Stratomatic, although I've focused a lot on it. Lots of other ones out there to try. So I know my friend Craig will be happy that the Phillies are going to be playing the Rockies. It should bring back some memories for him. It's RNGIDP. Just throw him a shout out there. He has a channel that he's doing a project of his own on. So anyway, thanks to all of you again. Appreciate your support. Hang in there. Have a good night. And Strat on. And God bless.